A 15-year-old from Wilbraham is among 32 scientists from across the country being considered for the National Science Foundation's Idea Machine 2026 competition. Konrad Gomez Haibach is one of the youngest entrants out of a competitive field of 800. Carolee McGrath sat down with Konrad and his mother Maria Gomez to learn more.
The NSF Idea Machine was created with the intention of gathering a lot of big ideas for the NSF to direct the U.S. Science studies. So they want to have an area for which or idea for which they will fund the scientists' investigations in that particular area.
So certain research areas that are currently not being looked at, they wanted ideas. So you're one of the entrants for this contest. Tell me a little bit about your submission.
My idea was to have a video game in which the players would enter puzzles or challenges to help scientists with their studies. So the scientists would create these challenges to send into, I guess, a part of the video game in which the players would go to solve puzzles and get rewards.
Okay, so give me an example of the types of puzzles or things that they would be looking at to solve.
One example of a puzzle would be folding proteins. And because scientists, even now, still don't totally understand proteins and their structure, gamers could help the scientists learn this structure by folding proteins. Somebody's already done this in a video game called Fold It.
Okay, so this is really interesting. So here you have this 15, almost 16-year-old son of yours who's coming up with, really ingenious as far as, bringing together the video game component into an area of research as well. How do you feel about this? He is the top 32 out of 800, right?
I was very excited. He loves playing games, but when he heard about the NSF 2016 idea competition, he thought, well, wouldn't it be great if I could set up something that I enjoy doing, playing a video game, but within there learn some science in different pieces. And I was very excited that he got into it and then worked hard to see what were available possibilities already, and then how he could make his piece different.
Did you ever think he would get this far?
I wasn't sure because it was a brand new program by the National Science Foundation. I had no idea how many entries there would be. Typically, I think most people who submit things to them are from universities and colleges, so already professionals in their career, but it was an unusual competition where they actually allowed one to be, I think the minimum age was actually a little bit younger than him, but I forget the exact age.
But by far you are the youngest, to rise to the top of this very exclusive group. How do you feel about that?
Well, I was very excited at first. It was like, winning the whole competition. Although this was rather short-lived because I had to focus on doing the second part immediately and creating the video to make it through the second stage.
Okay, so that you're currently in the second stage right now.
That's right.
Okay, so what's next? What are the next components of this competition?
I believe there are 2 or 3 more stages. Unfortunately, I don't know what happens in the final stage, but the next stage I have to do an interview with the NSF.
Okay, are you looking forward to that?
It's a little bit nerve-wracking, although I am looking forward to making it there.
So how did you first become interested in science in the first place?
Well, It didn't start so much with the fact that both of my parents are science, so much as a lot of the time I was curious about why things happened, and because in science I get to discover a lot of why things happen, it intrigues me.
And were you surprised, the level of his interest? So you're a scientist as well. Sometimes kids want to do nothing that their parents do. They go in the complete opposite direction. Were you surprised? Were you happy?
I was very happy, and I would say that there's still some of that. So my husband and I are chemists, and Konrad wants not so much chemistry, but computer science has been more of an area of interest for him. I guess the nice thing is that science is very broad, so you can have your teen rebellion differences from your parents and still do lots of really cool things. Right?
And again, coming back to video games, you like to play video games.
Yes, I do. Probably because of the quick reward, but I also like to come up with ideas for how to improve the video games as well, and also ideas for new video games.
Right, and certainly there's so many kids who really enjoy and love video games, but I think it's just so interesting to use something that you love to advance the scientific area of research. What are you hoping to do as you move forward? Once we're past this, whatever happens in this competition, what are you hoping to do when you graduate from high school?
Well, I intend to go to college, and I'm probably going to take computer science classes. Although after college, at the moment, I'd like to become a video game designer.
Which is fantastic. What an industry that is as well. That's really, so we'll have you back in a few years once you're into that part of your career. Tell us how people can find out more about this competition and his video that's online.
So if they Google NSF 2026 Idea Machine, they'll get to a site where there'll be a posting that says that the entries are in. They can click on that to go to the entries. And at the entries, they can look for Human versus AI. That's the title of Konrad's entry. And they'll see his picture, and they'll be able to click on that. And there's a video as well as the text entry that he submitted. And at the bottom, there's a comment button. And it'd be great to get comments because this next stage is partially judged on public comment.